Hey everybody! I am excited to be here today. I am Aaliyah Freeman and I'm located right now at the Sweet Peaches Coffee Shop located in Jacksonville, Florida. And I have my lovely friend here,
Hi.
Miss Candace. Candace is going to be joining me on this video today. As you guys know, I have the Breathe Joy Wellness Experience on next week. It is going to be a mixer where those who are looking for moments of joy to come back into their life, you actually come join this mixer and be connected with like-minded people where we actually going to be talking about all things wellness. Okay, how we're going to get back to joy, living the life that God has called us to be, and just living it freely. There has been just so much happening in the world today. If it's with family, personal life, or finances, or your business, or your job, it's just been so much happening. And today we just want to unpack a few things. But before we jump into today's topic, I want to introduce Candace just so that you guys can get to know her a little bit more. Candace, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, Candace, share with us exactly a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. So I, along with my husband, own Sweet Peaches Coffee, and we started this coffee shop about almost 2 years ago now. It'll be 2 years in January.
Mhm.
So this was always a dream of mine to have a coffee shop from the time I was very young. I worked in coffee when I was, I think, 19 years old. That was my first job, and I fell in love with it then. And so that sparked the dream to have a coffee shop. And fast forward many years later, I moved from Alaska to Florida, met my husband, and here we are today.
All the way from Alaska
Yes,
down
yes.
in Florida. Like, that's a big difference, okay?
No snow for this girl.
So this little cold is nothing for her, okay?
No.
But thank you for joining us today. One of the main things that I wanted to cover today is just speaking about joy in particularly and how we can actually just grow in our joy. But the first thing I want to talk about is um, the pressure of guilt. One thing about me is I love what I do, and I absolutely have no problem working on it from sun up to sundown, right? And so, a lot of times that is a good and a bad thing. It does help me get things done, but then also too, it burns me out, and I can feel totally exhausted when it's time to just when it's finally is time to rest. It's like it's not enough rest to recover it. And so today I just want to talk about Sabbath. I've been studying Sabbath lately. The beauty of having a day of rest and how it actually not just a spiritual thing, it's a physical thing and it can actually intentionally work your whole life. Like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. But um I'm learning to take the pressure off of myself when it is the day of rest to not think about work and to not feel guilty of resting.
Yep.
How do you normally feel when it's time to rest? Are you that person that could just, I don't care about nothing else or what?
Girl, I feel good when it's time to rest. I'm probably like on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like I just know that where I get when I am going into that burnout stage or kind of maneuvering through it, which is where I am in life right now. But I don't feel guilt because I know how important it is. I'm a better person in general
Mhm.
for my business, for my husband, for my friends when I am rested.
Mhm.
So that to me, I know that if I don't get it, I'm gonna go crazy. So I don't
Mhm.
feel guilt about
Right.
taking rest. It's a good thing. It's
Mhm.
God designed rest. He gave it to us for a purpose.
Mhm.
And you know what? It's taking a day or two of rest and not thinking about work. It's okay. And if I'm kind of the opinion, like if your business can't survive, I'll say, without you getting what you need, then it just shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be that way. Yeah.
How do you feel like? What are some things that you actually do when you're in a state of rest? Is it more of just resting, or is it
Both.
more like sleeping? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sleeping, or do you do other things?
Yeah, both. I definitely, I mean, sleeping in. I'm not a huge morning person. I don't know why I started a coffee shop. Not a huge morning person. So yeah, just sleeping in, but then just doing things. I mean, it could even be doing a nice deep clean on my house, which yeah, some people might still consider that work, but that makes me feel so good when my house is put together
Mhm.
and smelling good and the sheets are washed and fresh and all that. So it could be that. It could be reading. I
Mhm.
enjoy reading. I haven't done it in a really long time. I've been trying to make my way through this book and then, stuff happens. Watching TV. I love a good movie. I love a good show. The beach.
Mhm.
Yeah, things like that. Just the things that I enjoy.
Right.
Just doing what I want to do when I want to do it with no time constraints and pressure. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so those are some things that I know that I'm intentionally working on. And I love to hear that you love to do rest. One thing I want to know is when we're talking about getting back to joy, getting back to the things that we love. Like one thing that I've noticed is no matter what season you are in life, there is some type of burden that you're going to carry that's going to try to hinder your joy.
Mhm.
Let me say that again. No matter what season you go through in life, there is going to be the weight of something that you carry that is going to try to take the joy that that you're supposed to have. And the reason why I'm stating this, which is so important, is because a lot of times we try to get out of season because the weight of something that we carry is so heavy, and wanting to release them that we don't even understand, even in the next season, there's going to be something heavy. So today, I want to talk about how can we actually create routines of joy,
Mhm.
because we all are carrying the weight of something. I want you to think about what that weight is for you.
Mhm.
What is that weight for you? Um, it could be being a caregiver. It can be a business owner. I mean, there are so many things that we go through as a business owner. I know as an entrepreneur, and you're an entrepreneur. Even as a caregiver, if you're watching over maybe a loved one or whatnot, um, oftentimes it could be marriage. It could be
Being a
anything.
mom.
A
I know
mom
that's a big one.
with kids. So
Yep.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about something that we are doing or that we would like to get to start doing
Mhm.
um, to intentionally create joy in our life.
For me, it's just honestly getting back to, I think, the little things that I know, I'll say before I was where I am now, that made me happy. Just getting back to those little things. The days that I have extra time to sit and play with makeup and do my makeup, I love that. That brings me joy
Mm-hmm.
because makeup was something I played around with so much on Saturday mornings, I mean, it was like an hour, right? For
Mm-hmm.
just makeup, playing with different looks. That was
Mm-hmm.
me, right? So just taking those little moments, even if it's not an hour anymore, that's fine, you know, but just getting back to those things that make you feel like you again. You're not
Mm-hmm.
your business. You're
Mm-hmm.
not your kids, right? Like that's part of you, but you are an individual with likes and dislikes and wants and needs. And so just finding those things that make up you
Mm-hmm.
and doing them, even if it's just a little bit at a time, even if it's getting back to reading for 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
instead of 2 hours of silence like you might prefer.
Right.
You know what I
What
mean?
What's one book right now that you want to get back to?
So I'm actually reading my pastor's book, which is The Bumpy Road to Better.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's all about trials and
Mhm.
how to maneuver them in life. So it's a very good book for me right now. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So I would say for me, um, one thing that I recognize with joy, joy is something that we have to participate in because um, some things that I've been exercising in this season is more so of choosing joy over circumstance. So meaning life may be lifing, but I make the decision to be joyful in spite of what it is. So when I start and prioritize my day with joy in the presence of God, speaking affirmations over my life and walking in a place of um, just declaring the great things that I decide I want to see, it makes me move beyond the circumstances that are out of my control. Because the weight of what we carry, some of it is out of our control.
Yeah.
But when we respond to it in a way where when we respond to it in a way where we choose to have joy in spite of, our perspective change and the weight of it begins to lift.
Yep.
You know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah. And that's hard for me. I'm going to be real with you. Like, that's really hard to not let the circumstances of life overtake you,
Hmm.
especially like when you're in a business and it almost is your life,
Yes.
especially in the beginning stages. It's hard not to let that take you over. And
Hmm.
I'm for sure guilty of letting it because it's just hard for me,
Yeah.
just being real.
And I can say that too. A business, I want to speak from place of being a business owner. I think we have to prioritize not allowing the business to be our life, but allowing it to be a part of our life. I think this is where wellness flows
Hmm.
because this this business is only as healthy as I am. So meaning
Yeah.
we are our greatest asset. And so when we reprioritize, I think that's where our priority system has to be rearranged. I think, this is a great topic that we will be unpacking next week at the mixer. Is how to reprioritize the things that matter the most in our life before we do the things that we're called to do in life. That's what matters because the business is a part of me, it is a part of me because it's connected to me,
Hmm.
but it is not the full aspect of who I am. And so when we go back to taking care of ourselves, this is why I want us to focus on what are going to be our steps on how do we plan to get back to joy in our life. Because when we get back to that, that's when everything else thrives. The Bible says that if we seek the kingdom of God first, then everything shall be added to us. So when we reprioritize God first
Hmm.
over our business, over our lives, over our marriages, over our children, over our family, over our finances, everything will be added to us.
Hmm. Yep. 100%.
Everything will be taken care of.
Yep. Because you're allowing him to step into your situation rather than you, right?
Mhm.
Even though he's not physically here with us, I sometimes it's hard because like you're the one on earth taking care of your business or your kids or whatever it is, right? I'm just throwing business out there because that's where we are. But you're the one paying the bills, making sure the supplies are stocked, everything like that. But you don't do any of that in your own strength. You can't because it's too much.
Mhm.
So you have to prioritize him first to allow him to step into the situation and take some of the weight from you and
Mhm.
realize that it's not you carrying it in the first place.
Right. That's it right there. That's it right there. Remembering that He is with us, and then remembering that He gives us strength for everything that He calls us to. So when much is given, much is required, but also too, more strength has to be provided for what is given.
Right.
And we can only get strength if we connect it.
Yep.
So I want to end it with this. What is one key thing that you're going to do as we are prioritizing our wellness? What is one thing that you plan to do to get to reprioritize your priority system? What do you want to do?
So we actually talked about this a little last week and had a little discussion, but I just said I needed to get back to just a little bit of morning time, giving myself a little bit of extra time in the morning to sit with coffee, to read a devotion, and just have that time, right? And not in the midst of rushing. I've gotten into a bad habit of I listen to my devotion as I'm driving here for a few minutes, and then while I'm rushing to do my makeup, and then there's a customer at the door, and there goes my day. So
Mm-hmm.
just a little more time in the morning to just to focus, just to gain focus before you start your day.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I last week me and Candace had this conversation, um, and I've been prioritizing God first, but I had not been intentionally planning um what my week looked like, or what my day looked like, or what my focus looked like. And so lately, I've been utilizing my morning, expanding that, so that therefore I'm moving with intention,
Mm.
so that I'm not hanging in places too long. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm spending enough time block, and cutting out habits, like some bad habits that I've established due to not having a focus or a priority. And so the thing about it is that we've been great upon accountability partners lately, and just recognizing, you know, taking the effort to make the step is one thing, but giving yourself grace as you make the mistake to break change
Mm-hmm.
is another. And I think we have to celebrate each other, celebrate ourselves when we do well. Don't beat yourself when you made a mistake and you weren't consistent on day 2 or 3, but to remember to go back to the schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Start fresh. So you've heard our story, and you've heard the things that we are facing, and that we are embracing in this season. This is exactly what the mixture is all about. So I want you to get connected and reserve your seat for the Breathe Joy Wellness Experience mixer located here at Sweet Peaches Coffee. It's going to be next Saturday, December the 20th at 7 p.m. And it's free.
Yes.
It is completely free. There's going to be food, and we're going to have a little bit of giveaways. But the main thing is we want you to get in the room and
Yes.
mix with those who are in the same space as you, and we're going to be inspired, empowered, and get back to wellness together. But
Yep.
I also want you to come visit Sweet Peach and Coffee.
Yes.
Tell them a little bit about where they can find you and what you offer.
Yes. We are located at 3895 Bay Meadows Road. It's right at the Bay Meadows and San Jose intersection. We offer obviously full espresso bar, light breakfast, delicious pastries, just all sorts of yummy stuff. So
you gotta get that Sweet Peaches coffee, y'all.
Yes, yes, the peach cobbler latte, our signature. And we are open Monday through Friday, 7 to 4. Saturday is 9 to 4, and then Sunday is 9 to 1.
Okay. So we are super excited to meet you, connect with you. Bring a friend, join us. Listen, it's going to be intimate. It's going to be everything that you need, and it's no judgment zone.
Yes.
We are in this
Yes.
space growing together. We just looking forward for connection, and also where we all can get back to that place of joy.
Yep.
So thank you so much for watching and joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys on next Saturday
Yes.
at 7 o'clock p.m.
See you then.